Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream with the one and only Kevin Goh Wei Ming. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Saga.
Kevin, what a nice day to be here with you. And I'm kind of in a very colorful mood today, which is shown by my t-shirt. Oh, sorry, the shirt that I'm wearing. And for you, you are a busy man, as can be seen from the background with all the timetable behind there. Okay, 5 to 7, this to be done, that to be done. How is life?
Well, I'm at the Federation right now. So it's late, it's 10:30.
Oh.
So this being on the show with you is great opportunity to pretend that I'm working hard, yeah. So I hope there are some Singaporeans watching this.
For sure, I read there was one person, Bob, who said he never met you in person, although he has seen you
Hmm.
many times in Singapore. So I think it's going to be great fun. The reason for doing this stream is there are many reasons, but I think the main thing is that Kevin recently won the Singapore National Championship, and this is the final rank here. Kevin was he scored 7.5 points, and the second place was 1 point behind him. There was also a very strong GM, Tin Jingyao, who's almost 2600 elo. And then
Hmm.
there were other young talents as well. And this is your performance. You gained 10 elo points, which is phenomenal for someone who is the CEO of Singapore Chess Federation. And these are your
I thought you were
pictures.
about to say I thought you were about to say it's remarkable for someone this old, yeah.
No, I have to be careful. I'm somewhere near your age,
I thought that
so.
was yeah, that was coming, I thought.
But Kevin, how did you manage to do this? Because especially since you are busy with so many different projects, I'm sure that it's not easy. Also, you are a very ambitious person who wants to bring about change in Singapore chess. So I see you working at many different projects, and yet you went to such a interesting event, which was kind of hard fought, and you won it quite comfortably.
Well, okay, first of all, I wouldn't say I mean, the final result seems to indicate that the tournament was smooth and comfortable, but it was really anything but. So, tremendously stressful, and I think I was really motivated for this event until I lost in round three to my student, actually, Jaden Wong.
Oh.
So the game was like, in that game I was really defending a worse position from start to finish. I finally managed to secure a drawn position, and then I blundered a piece in time trouble. So at the time, I was thinking, okay, I mean, time's up for me. It's time to stop the game. If I'm blundering a piece like this,
Was it this game?
which I no, it wasn't this game. This was the
Okay.
last round, actually.
Okay.
So no, I was holding my head because, okay, finally I finished the event and I won it.
Hmm.
So yeah, the game against Jada in round three was pretty devastating because I never imagined that like whatever 3 years ago I will blunder a piece like this. It's pretty bad.
Hmm.
And then maybe I sort of I lost all hope of winning the tournament, and that took the pressure off me until suddenly I started to win game after game after game, and I was suddenly back in the running, and I beat Tin in a very important game.
Yes.
And that was when I finally decided that, okay, I have a chance to win.
Right.
Yeah, but
We are going to look
really,
at those games, yes, against Tin, against
mhm,
some Pasencia. I think
yeah,
he finished second, right, in the tournament.
hmm,
And
hmm,
also against Siddharth Jagdish, the youngster,
hmm,
who's very
yeah,
talented. And
that's
and I
right, that's
think
right.
one of the things that helped you a lot was your deep opening preparation.
Yeah, I think given that obviously getting in age, I have to keep repeating this. Sorry, Saga, I know you are almost like as old as me, yeah. So not a good thing to keep repeating, but I think there has to be come a point when one needs to be strategical in their opening choices, and I think for this tournament, everything went to plan flawlessly. with the white pieces. So with black, almost everything was bad. Like I got bad positions in every game with black, but somehow I survived in those games. But with white, I think the preparation was spot on. I targeted my opponent's weaknesses. I had one strategy for one player and a completely opposite strategy for another player, and I will elaborate that in the
Okay.
show. So I put a lot of thought into this, and yeah, somehow it worked out. But of course, it could also have gone. I mean, if I have whatever thrown away one of these winning positions, then I wouldn't be here talking about
Correct.
opening strategies with you. Yeah,
Right.
but
Well,
I think yeah, chess is really there's a lot. It's a lot more than just about yeah training and being skillful and being technically good.
hmm.
You need to think about the psychological aspect of it.
Right. Okay. So I want to get to know this. So why don't we dive into chess? And I think
Mm.
in between the moves, there will also be questions thrown to the chat. And guys, you have to answer. We have the chat chess moves ready here for you to answer. And also, let's get to the game. The first one, you were playing with the white pieces. All your games started with one e4. So in a way, this is somehow, like what we're going to discuss is everything after 1 e4.
Yeah, and different openings, yeah. Caro Kann, E4, E5, and Sicilian.
Yes.
So
So it's like a
that was
mini
my what
repertoire for white.
yeah, I think at the start I was already thinking, okay, sometimes I play some stuff with D4, sometimes I experiment with some other lines, with the English or things like that. But then I decided for this opening, this tournament, I'm going to just start with 1 E4. And I have some surprises everywhere.
Right.
So hopefully to bring my opponents out of their comfort zone, and because also to be less predictable, because I think that's important at say higher level when you're playing to win the Singapore Championships, for instance.
Correct. Correct. Right. So, okay, let's
Yeah.
begin, Kevin. And whenever you think that there's something we can ask the chat, let's do that.
Mhm.
Tell us a bit about Enrique Pacencia and how did you approach this game when you began?
Well, so Enrique is a very experienced trainer. I think he has worked here for nearly 15 years. So he coached me
Oh,
or prepared me for games as well when I was much younger. So I've known him for a while. He's a very strong international master. I think his first rating was over 2400.
wow.
And okay, I mean these days he's not so active. He doesn't prepare so hard for games anymore. So you see his rating dropping down to like below 2300. But every time he plays me, he's always very motivated.
Mm.
And I lost to him in the last couple of years, actually, in the same tournament.
Wow.
So like this year I was like determined to get one over him. And I think one thing about him is that he's a little bit predictable in his opening choice.
Mm.
So one thing I did, I logged on to opening tree. Okay, this is not an advertisement for their website, but I'm just saying this openingtree.com. You could
Okay.
download their internet games if you know their internet handlers. So I went to stalk him like some crazy guy, like um CSI him and to search for all his online games. And I noticed that after E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, uh, I have a few lines within my repertoire.
Mm.
So first of all, I played the Italian, I played the Scotch, I also played the revolve sometimes. And then I noticed that he plays against the Scotch, he only plays one line. And I think it's a little bit suspicious, and I felt the need to try to punish him for that.
Okay.
So I decided to choose the Scotch.
So you played d4 and you saw so this is an interesting thing which you mentioned. If someone plays a lot online and their games are not in the database like mega database and so on, then you can go to openingtree.com and put their username of leechess or chess.com and so
That's
on,
right.
and you get the opening tree.
Yes,
Oh, that's very interesting.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So obviously you need to know the handler of this person. If they goes by an anonymous
Hmm.
handler, then okay, there's nothing much you can do. But if there's information out there, I think you should do that
Okay.
work. Shouldn't be lazy about it.
Right.
So I noticed after E4, knight takes D4, bishop C5. So first of all, the sharper line, that in the more concrete variation happens after knight F6, and knight takes C6, BC6, E5 was well-known variation, Queen
Hmm.
E7, Queen E2. So this is leads to very sharp concrete positions. And this is when if you understand the style of the player and his preference when it comes to opening preparation, you will understand that there's no way he's going to enter into this. And it helps you to cut down time on preparation.
Why do you
Because
say he wouldn't go into this?
because the lines are so concrete
Mm.
and things can go wrong very easily. So he's of the positioner and solid style. So I know that for sure he's not going to surprise me with knight f6 or queen f6, for example, these two recent moves.
Right.
Yeah. So queen f6 actually is quite good, by the way. But I was confident that he's going to go bishop c5, which is more solid, and you can play based on the system's basis. Yeah, just put the knight somewhere, push the pawn, castle shot, and you can play. So I went knight b3,
Knight b3.
and here the best
Yeah.
move is bishop b6, bishop b6 of course.
Right.
But okay, he went. I seen in like whatever 19 games, like he played 18 with
Really?
bishop b4 check.
He played
Yeah,
this. Oh,
over and
interesting.
over again, and scores well. So I was more or less like, yeah, I was confident that he's going to play this.
So you knew that this is where you need to strike. Okay, just to see if our chat is there. And guys, what should white play in this position? Of course, there's a check here. Very obvious move.
King e2, yeah?
But what would you do here? And you can write down your move in the chat so that we can see it, and then Kevin can get an idea of.
Mhm.
And maybe guys, if you give all the answers correctly, at some point you might get a chance to go to Singapore. Okay, this was not planned, but there is a Singapore chess festival happening from 4th to 11th of June, and the link is in the pinned message. Please check it out. I think it's one of the biggest festivals of Singapore, Kevin.
Maybe the biggest.
The
yeah.
biggest.
Maybe the biggest, yeah. We try to organize a big open tournament for this year.
Wow. So many players from all across the world will come.
I hope so. So we only just announced this a couple of weeks ago. We have about 5 or 6 GMs who have signed up already, so that's good news.
Wow.
Hopefully we can have more. I'm hoping for
I'm
15
sure
GMs.
a lot from India will join for sure once they get to know about this. So this will be amazing because Singapore is not too far from India.
Yeah, it's not too far. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, after the last the chess Olympiad, and then I wrote a tweet saying that I don't have enough food in Singapore, like after the trip, and then loads of people on Twitter told me to just go back to Tamil Nadu. Like it's 4 hours. Come here and have a meal and then go home. Like people are suggesting all these things, inviting me to their homes to stay and all this. Yeah,
Man,
it's great.
you are a fan favorite here. Let's look at if we have the answers. Yes, there are a few people who have.
Yeah, King E2, yeah.
King E2, of course, mentioned by Jamie and Jonathan, but we have the right move by Akash, Beloglavi, Tirth, Prahlad, Manoj, Evgeny, Mac, Cliff, Malcolm, and Raj Narsimha. Well done, guys. C3 is the correct move, and this is what Kevin played. Yeah, so now that c3 was played, the bishop has to sort of move back and can't go to
goes back to e7,
a5 or
so
c5.
the main point of bishop b4 check is just to stop the natural development of of the b1 knight to c3, because the knight on c3 does a great job. It controls the d5 square. It doesn't allow for the pawn break with d5, so black can try to play knight f6 and d5 at some moment. Yeah.
Okay,
so
this is the plan, right?
Yeah, I looked at this position and I felt if there's anything, okay, there should be something wrong with this setup because nobody's really playing it. So I studied this. I understood that there are two moves, bishop f4 and f4. So I decided to go with the pawn push, which is a little bit more aggressive in my opinion.
f4.
So,
and he went knight d6. I believe if he goes knight f6, you have e5 now.
I think I have e5, yeah. The knight gets to go back to g8.
Right.
So
he played d6.
He played d6.
And his idea is to go knight f6.
Yes. And actually, there are some ideas, strange ideas. Like after the game, I noticed that black can even play knight h6 and f5, which is like, to me during the game, or rather before the game, I knew that there was this idea. but I was sure that there's no way he will play this if he hasn't checked this before the game.
Right.
So this idea just looks so weird, yeah.
True.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, first
also,
of
I
all,
mean,
like
you can always get your bishop to c4 and it looks quite fine for
yeah,
you.
looks very dangerous.
Yeah.
But apparently this is the best, according to I think it was Khalif Man's book on the Scotch.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently. So I
So
mean, he should know a thing or two about chess.
for sure.
And
So
yeah, and
knight
here I
1
go.
d2 was played,
Yeah, knight.
and he broke in
So
the center with d5.
with d5, yeah, this is actually a like interesting moment because yeah, it was somewhere around here. I saw on the internet, like after the game, I sort of scare him a little bit. Like I said, okay, on this day you played instead of this d5, you played f5. So maybe a question is coming. So f5. And then I was thinking maybe you'll play it again, like because you played it in blitz, right? So I thought bishop d3, f takes e4, knight takes e4, knight f6, queen c2, knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, g6. Yeah, so this was in my preparation actually, because I had to prepare based on the information I had. Bishop e3, still in my notes. Castle short, and castle long.
Looks very
Then
scary for black.
black goes bishop f6.
Okay.
So this was the position, and I switched on the engine, and then the engine gave this move, rook h e1, which to me, well, I couldn't understand.
You want
But
to
it was
play
giving
h4,
some.
h5, right?
You given it away, but maybe, yeah. So I think it's important. I think many young players, inexperienced players, they switch on the engine. They will see that the first choice is rook h e1, and then they will make the move, and then they will try to understand what's going on after this. And because the computer is giving whatever 0.9, right? But actually, instead of rook h e1, white has a strong move here, which okay, Saga has given away.
This was a strong move here, and
Yeah,
so maybe
we
we
go h.
want it's h4. Nice.
Yeah, so this is the fifth choice of the engine. And I'm using Lila, so it's not some weak engine, like this Lila. So okay, and I understood that the engine doesn't like this because black goes bishop g4. So now white to play, and maybe the chat can
Another
have a
question
go
here,
at this. Like
guys.
yeah,
What should you do in this position? White to play, and as Kevin has mentioned here, h4 does weaken the g4 square. The bishop sits here, attacks the rook, and you need to decide what to do. Not easy, not easy.
yeah, this is kind of hard.
We have a few suggestions here. Let's see, guys, and many different types of suggestions.
Bishop g6 is a popular choice.
Yeah. So right now, the suggestions include bishop g6, h5, rook. What? Rook d6? Okay, come on, that's not possible. Bishop d5 check, rook e1, bishop f3. And I think the one who has written king d2 wanted to write rook d2 perhaps. And so these are the few options here. But I think
what is king d2?
king d2. Okay.
In the meantime, I will check my notes in case I'm getting this wrong. Okay, no, I'm still correct. I'm still correct. We are all good.
So bishop takes g6. Is this?
Yeah, bishop takes g6 looks really interesting. But what do you do after bishop takes d1 though?
Yeah.
And then if you go bishop takes h7 check, king h8, and you don't have a good way to recapture the bishop, right? Because rook takes d1. Not sure what to do there. Queen e7 probably, yeah. Oh yeah, Queen e7 wins.
Yeah, attacks this and also on
Ouch.
h7. That looks very bad.
Yeah. Bishop
Maybe.
e4, rook e8, skewer.
Yeah. So
Knight
this
d2. Oh no, it's yeah, no, this
knight
is
to
losing. Yeah,
d5 maybe.
d5.
Hmm.
Yeah, d5. Yeah, losing. So got to be a bit careful. And this is the position where the com gives whatever 0.3. But I look at h5. I thought, okay, I should try to make it work somehow. So we go h5, and
Wow.
this is the difficult
Is
part.
is this the
Yeah,
correct move?
h5 is correct.
Okay, so this was brilliantly done, and I think a few of the players found it. Beloglavi, Mac Brown, Arvind, and Captain Mine. Well done, guys. Okay, so h5, and now maybe take here on d1.
Yeah, bishop takes d1, queen takes d1,
Mm-hmm.
and now it looks like okay. So first of all, we are not checkmating the opponent anytime soon, right? Because okay, black can take queen e7, they can sort of hold the position for a little bit. But the idea is that this exchange sacrifice is more of a positional nature. We are going to attack on the light squares.
Mm.
Yeah, and in the long run, it's going to be much more difficult for him to defend, and it's easier for white to find moves. So even though the engine evaluation is not as good as the previous position which we discussed with rook h e1, but this in practical terms is far better.
Right.
So I think this is really important when you look at a position with your engine. You've got to sometimes think from practical point of view, look at the position with fresh eyes, and make an assessment there. So I was quite happy about this. And in fact, the line goes a bit deeper. I can show
Mm-hmm.
queen e7, bishop d5 check. Notice that I'm not going after g6 pawn. This is not the point. Like yeah, king g7, rook e1, rook h e8. Yeah, and now a really difficult move. You want to give this as a position as
Okay.
well?
Now, one more time,
Yeah,
guys. What do you do here? White to play, and it's a tough move. Also,
really tough
I
move.
mean, I want to give some kind of a discovered attack on your queen, but the rook is undefended. And if I play a move like bishop d2 or bishop f2, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah,
Um,
feels like it's just retreating. Yeah. I mean, if I tell you the move, Saga, you immediately understand what's the point
right,
behind it.
right.
But I was very happy, like I was excited. I hope that I could play this over the board. It's
This was
just
your
kind of cool.
preparation, right, for the game?
This was still in my preparation. Yeah, it was in my notes.
Wow. How
Yeah,
it's amazing that you could go so deep because you knew your opponent was playing this and you could remember it.
yeah, because I think this is a critical position, and after you go h4, I think all the moves are kind of logical except for this particular point.
Mm.
And then because the move which was shown to me by Lila sort of blew my mind, and I didn't okay, I couldn't forget the move after this. Yeah.
This move,
So
yes, right now.
yeah, this move.
Okay, let's
I mean,
see.
by itself, it's not super amazing. It's just that the whole concept of sacrificing an exchange, not going for the a checkmate or immediate win on material is pretty nice.
Right. And by the way, this sorry, this is the move
H6, yeah.
that everyone wants to play. H6 is what
Mm-hmm.
everyone here wants to do. There are also
Mm-hmm.
people who want to play F5.
Very
G4 is one
logical, yeah.
option.
Very logical, yeah.
Queen G4. Oops, sorry. And also maybe take on G6, take on C6, and Knight D2. These are
Yeah.
the
What is
moves.
92?
What
But
is Knight
anyway,
D2?
the
Yeah.
so I think the main question here is why this move is so difficult because it's not concrete, it's not direct.
Mm.
So it's not any of these H6 or F5 stuff, even though they look very tempting. But the best move here,
Because h6,
and
what everyone said, just met with king h8, right? Like you don't have to
that's
take the
correct.
pawn.
That's
So
correct. And then everything is kind of secure now on the king side.
yeah, why do you want to close it? And f5, which looks another powerful move, is somehow maybe bishop g5.
Bishop G5, yeah,
And it doesn't look great because the pieces are
yeah,
getting traded and you are down material. So
yeah.
going back here, and yeah, Kevin, what was the move that blew your mind? And has anyone
So
suggested it?
Well, okay, if I tell you this thing, you will find the move. Okay, what is the worst piece? Right,
The
for white.
knight on b3.
There you go.
So do
So
I?
we go knight to d2
Oof.
with the idea to go on on e4, and then black's position simply falls apart.
And then the bishop. Maybe later take here and bishop can go to
Then bishop
d4.
d4, yeah.
Wow. Let
So
me see how many people. I mean, there was, I think, only one person who found it. Mac Brown. Okay. Brilliant.
probably he made a typo, yeah. He wants to play king d2. Yeah. Just kidding, just kidding. Don't be mad at me.
So knight d2 and you're threatening to come to e4. Beautiful. And this bishop can't be attacked. And this is a great position for white.
Yeah. So my preparation stopped around here, and I thought, okay, this is nice position. I can play this. I can play this position comfortably. So,
Mm.
so I thought this is like a really instructive idea. That I chose the fifth best move according to engine, h4.
Yeah.
When the engine is screaming to bring the rook to the center, I was thinking about attacking on the king side, and then I explored the moves a little bit, just checking some natural stuff,
Mm.
and then to find this maneuver knight d2 to e4, which is very cool.
Right.
So I think this is a useful way, like important thing to understand, that you cannot rely on the engine evaluations overlay.
And also this, what you have just mentioned, goes 20 moves deep into the prep. So that is just amazing. The level of prep that you did here. But your opponent
Mhm.
played the move d5, and I think that feels a little sad, right? Because you prepared so much and now he's deviating.
Yes, but you know what, Shah Saga, like nobody played this d5. It's also the engine's whatever fifth or sixth choice. But I thought he would play this.
Oh, you
So I
prepared
also
it
checked
as
this.
well. Oh my God.
I checked this as well.
Nice.
Yes. So it was more like I look at the position, okay, what will Enrique play, you know? And he's a player with strong classical understanding of opening principles.
Mm.
So I thought, okay, he will try to strike back in the center. He will use the fact that my knight on d2 is blocking the queen, so he takes the opportunity to play d5. And here's the setup that he has in mind. After white goes e5, gaining space, black will go knight h6, bishop f5, short castle, f6 at some moment, queen d7, and then rook a e8. So this was exactly what I thought would happen before the game.
Mm.
And I just prepared accordingly, like to this setup. And for the life of me, we'll talk about this in a while. Yeah, I couldn't understand why white is better.
Mm.
Yeah, but okay, we can explore this now. So I think this I went knight f3, I think, or bishop d3, one of this.
Knight
Knight
f3.
f3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
goes
then he
castles,
went castles. You played
bishop
bishop d3.
bishop d3, bishop f5,
Bishop f5, castles,
castles,
queen
queen
d7.
d7. So here I went bishop e3, and I was certain that this was in my notes.
Hmm.
I was really confident about this. But before I played bishop e3, I'm wondering, okay, what happens after knight g4,
Sorry,
which I
after
didn't,
bishop e3, knight g4.
yeah, which I did not check in my notes because it wasn't suggested. So, and then I started, thinking to myself, did I mess up the opening? Like, did I forget some stuff, or did I get confused with the opening? Because after knight g4, it feels like I have to go back to c1, which is looks terrible.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to h6 and offers a draw or what? So, little bit strange for me.
Hmm.
So, and then I started calculating all this stuff with bishop c5, but changing pieces seems weird as well.
Right.
Yeah, but eventually I found a pretty nice solution, I think, and I played bishop e3.
So here, what should white play? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
what should I
question.
play? Yeah,
What
yeah,
should white play here? Kevin does not like bishop d2 here because he drops a piece. He doesn't like bishop c1 because it
yeah,
repeats. Bishop c5
yeah.
exchanges pieces. So what do you do?
So what do you do? Yeah,
Not too many
off a draw,
options here.
king f2.
Jigsaw did write it, yeah, king f2. Mac Brown, either you are too strong or you are using some unfair means, or you are you are GM. You're getting everything right. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think Chandrasekhar, Akash, Kirthika, many of them, Mac Brown, have said bishop takes f5. I think that makes sense.
yeah. So the way to do this, you go bishop f5, queen f5, and I found the idea bishop d2,
Ooh.
a retreating move. Like I don't like to retreat, right?
Mm.
Nobody likes. But the idea is that white is going to go h3, g4 with tempo, and then f5. And that is where I understood why white is so much better in that position. Because simply the knight on h6 has no squares.
Okay, can I try queen d3 here? Maybe trying for knight e3 stuff, or doesn't make sense. Maybe
Mm,
there's knight c1, yeah.
knight c1, yeah. Bishop c5 check though.
Mm. Or
Yeah, maybe rook
maybe
e1.
knight e1.
Maybe rook
Maybe rook
maybe rook
e1.
e1. Knight e1 looks good, yeah.
Knight e1, and
But
then this knight is
and
hanging.
then
You have to
h3
go back h3.
and h3 g4.
Right, right.
You're gaining space on the king side. So I mean the main problem with black's position is the poor knight on h6.
Mm.
And yeah, some wise guy once said a bad piece makes the whole position look bad.
Mm.
Like after the game, I told Enrique, "Hey, you know this from 1928? I think Karash said a bad piece makes the position bad." And then I didn't know the year. I didn't know who said it. I just made it up. I just know somebody said it. And he's, wow, really? You know that? And I said, no, I just made it up. But definitely someone said this before. Yeah.
For sure. Sounds logical.
So
So
knight g4 is not playable.
yeah, he went rook a
But
d8.
I spent much time over this.
Mm.
So here I played h3 and f6. Yeah. So here,
Key moment,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, sadly enough, my preparation ended, and I remember the engine was saying,
I mean, at some point it has to end. Yes, you prepared so well. So now it has
I
ended.
mean, yes, ended. But the problem is this position, even though Com says white is better, but it feels like black is getting into the game, right?
Mm.
For example, there's knight f7 and
Yeah, pressure on e5. By the way,
yeah.
Kevin, before we move ahead, Akash in the chat asks, what about bishop f5, queen f5, knight f d4? Does that make sense?
Mm. But if knight takes e3,
I take on f5.
yeah, you change queens. Knight takes b1, rook takes b1, yeah.
Yeah.
And then rook a or rook f, rook a d8 probably. I mean, you have knight e3,
Mm.
so maybe, yeah.
Yeah. This looks very strong. Yeah, d5
Yeah,
is
it looks pretty
falling.
good. Yeah.
So maybe not a bad
So,
suggestion to take on
so
f5 and
yeah,
go knight f d4 as well.
no. So that means after knight f d4, um, I take the knight first, or what? Bishop takes d4 is the idea. Okay.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. Also decent, I think. Also decent. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this was also good, Akash. Good suggestion there.
Hmm. Nice idea.
h3, f6. And now, I guess an important moment, yeah, for them to think what should
Yeah.
White do?
Yeah. This is tough. Yeah. This is
This is
not
tough.
something for kids.
Although only kids will solve it because they are the strongest. Guys,
Yeah, I
what
know,
do you
right?
do?
Yeah, I got it wrong, by the way. So
Ah, you got it wrong. Okay.
I got it wrong. I
That's
got it
fine.
wrong. Yeah, I misplayed the position, but it's not easy at all. So I mean, I should have checked this position because this is very concrete and logical. I thought, yeah, during the game I was a little bit upset with myself. Like, okay, why didn't I check it a little bit deeper? And now I have to find the solution.
By the way, people are saying one suggestion is bishop b5,
Yeah,
one
bishop
is
b5.
knight b d4, and another one is yeah, I think, and someone said the position reminds him of Nimzovich defense.
Yeah, a little bit, yes. Yeah, but normally the knight is not a h6.
Yeah, this is a little bit misplaced. Knight h4 is also a suggestion. And so is c4. Many interesting moves, yeah, suggested.
Yeah, there are many options. I think this is the problem. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I would give a solution. The best move here is knight c5.
Knight c5. Prahlad Sen, well done. Knight c5.
Yeah, and the idea, yeah, it's kind of strange. So
Queen
black goes
c8,
queen
yes.
c8. Yeah, you don't give the bishop pair. White goes bishop b5.
Now bishop b5.
Yes, and yeah, there's this immediate threat to to double the pawn, right?
Hmm.
So black responds with b6.
Ah.
Yeah, for some reason, yeah, b6 is strong.
No, but now there's also bishop h3 stuff or not?
Bishop h3, yeah.
Hmm.
I think I can take. I probably can survive.
All
It's
right.
interesting though. And I go queen e2.
Hmm.
Sorry. Yeah, I got it wrong. So instead, yeah, so queen e2 instead of bishop e5. Queen e2 first.
Queen e2.
Yeah.
And
So
now
if bishop takes
b6.
d3, yeah, if bishop takes d3, knight takes d3, and I bring the knight back into play and control e5. So not very logical for him to take. So b6 is more logical. And then, yeah, then this crazy maneuver, bishop a6, almost trapping the queen, queen b8. And then, of course, the best move, knight b7.
That's how computers play. Knight
That's the
b7.
computer move, yeah.
Rook d e8.
And then queen b5. Basically forcing the exchange of the knight. He has to go knight d8. And then we play knight takes d8, rook takes d8, and knight to d4. And white is much better here because knight c6 is happening. So yeah, very difficult line, I think. I
Hmm.
don't think I will ever find this in my whatever. Give me 10 hours, I will not find. Like bishop b5, bishop a6, knight b7. Who's going to find this, right?
Right.
Yeah. So bishop b5 is a decent move, but it doesn't really push for a bigger advantage.
Instead of knight c5, you played bishop
Instead of knight c5,
b5.
yeah. So my idea is that I'm hoping that if it goes, for example, a6, bishop takes c6, queen c6, and I can get to go for this g4,
g4. Bishop e4
bishop
maybe.
e4, knight b d4, queen d7, yeah, and f5. Yeah, this was my idea.
Wow.
Yeah, but it turns out that position is just slightly better.
Hmm.
Like bishop takes f3, queen f3, f takes e5, knight e6. Okay, I'll win the exchange. But he gets compensation. Like for example, knight f7 now. Knight f7 now. Yeah, and he gets pretty decent compensation, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe not the most practical approach, even though white is still better. Yeah, but to my relief, okay, because I thought this is his best chance anyway. But to my relief, he played queen c8. After the game, he told me he just got confused with all these threats of g4 and all these pins on d4. So he decided to escape the pin. And of course, I take the knight.
Bishop takes.
He
Pawn
takes c5 and
takes.
he takes c6 and I go bishop c5, changing the dark square bishops. And then later on, I install one knight on c5, I install the other knight on d4, and then the game quickly ended.
Ah,
There's just
beautiful.
no
Now
more
you have
counterplay.
full control over the position. Fe, Fe,
Mm-hmm.
rook f8, and you just played queen e2. So very solid, and now you're positionally just crushing. c6 is hanging,
Yeah.
e6 may come in. So queen e8 played. You pushed
So you
forward.
notice that I didn't rush to capture the pawns, right? I didn't rush to
Yes.
take c6 for example, because it's more the pawns are not the issue. The main thing is to exert control in the center.
Mm.
So I was eager to play queen e2, rook e1, e6. Not really interested in the two pawns yet, not yet. Later on, I will take. Yeah. So
And now
e6,
if rook f6, you have knight d7
knight
fork.
knight d7. Yeah. So he
So
went rook e7,
he went here.
queen e5.
Queen moves in.
Always nice to make this centralizing move. Yeah.
Right. Queen
And
g6.
then
Maybe
yeah,
some
and
threats now, but
yeah, so 97. No bishop h3 because it's mate.
right. If you take here, it's checkmate here. So he
Mm-hmm.
went rook f6. Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just over.
I mean this giving up here.
Yeah,
So
but because if you
and then
went here, you are already losing a piece. So
yeah, I just win a piece. So he thought okay. He thought that after rook f6, knight f6, gf.
can I ask the chat what is the best move here? White to play.
Hmm. Nice, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Very nice tactic here.
Very nice, yeah.
So what is the move, guys? What should white play here? Actually, not easy. I mean, it's a
Not
bit
so yeah.
confusing. There are
It's a
many
bit
ways to
confusing,
win,
yeah.
but okay, chat is strong, yeah. Prahlad
Yeah.
Sen, Mrs. Kalyani Bagul, Captain Mind, Mac Brown, Kritika Chess. Evgeny, your move is not bad, but what Kevin has given in his notes is the best. Knight e7 check. Wow. Srini Shruti, well done.
Yeah, very nice.
Takes, you meet it with
Queen,
take.
Queen e7, yeah. Yeah.
And this is a mate. And if you take with the other rook, of course, it's a mate already. So brilliant. Very nice. In the game, he went rook f6. But I think that's almost like resignation. You took here,
Mm-hmm.
pawn takes, knight f5. Ah, nice. Because if f e5,
Yeah.
then knight e7.
Mm. Yeah. So he resigned here.
Wow, what a
So
game.
yeah, I would say successful opening preparation, yeah, I would say.
Very much.
Basically anticipated this. So I think it's also important that players look at this and just know, do not be predictable.
Mm.
And I told him, like also, I told him, look, don't do this. If you play with some of these kids, they might do this to you, and it's not really fair because you're a strong player. You shouldn't lose like this.
Mm.
And then he just says, no, I'm just playing for fun. It's okay. Goes on to finish second.
Yeah, but I think it was also a little bit naive of him to try this line which he has played so many times in online chess. I guess
Hmm.
he might have assumed that you, being the CEO of now Singapore Federation, won't have time to prepare much, and you might be
Yeah.
busy with other things, no?
Yeah, maybe he was thinking along those lines. Yeah. But I didn't really prepare so long. I think I just spent a couple of hours
Mm.
on the day of the tournament. So not like I've been looking at this all week. It's not like that. I
Right,
just checked whatever 2 hours before
right,
the game. So not really intense preparation, I would say.
correct.
Yeah. So he made it a lot easier for me because he just has one opening, so you don't have to check 3 or 4 different lines.
Yes.
Hmm.
And next we go to
So
your game with Ting Jingyao because he is. Can you tell us a bit about him? He's 2598, which is amazing.
yeah, no, fantastic player. He's currently our best player, the top rank in the country. He crossed 2600 in live rating, and then okay had a couple of bad games, and now back to something like
How
2580
old is he?
somewhere. He's just 21, 22. I
Wow.
think 22.
Wow.
So still kind of young, almost as young as you, yeah, Saga. So
Yes.
he so
In
he's
spirit.
compute yeah he's studying in computing science in the NUS, one of the toughest courses in all of Singapore universities. So brilliant player, of course, and I
Mm.
knew that okay, this is going to be a hard game. But okay, I have white, so if you have white, you always have some chance, right? So I think at the point of the game, of the tournament, I was half a point behind. And just the day before, I was annoyed because he won this completely drawn rook endgame with Siddharth Jagadesh. I was not happy with Siddharth, like giving away a draw like this. I'm not pleased with him. And then now I have to face Jing Yao. I have to try to win to catch up,
Mm.
right? So Jing Yao plays a couple of openings after e4. So he plays either e4 e5 or e4 c6.
Right.
And I sort of guessed that he was going to play the Caro Kann against me because he have had great results with it, almost winning every single game. And even with the one game he lost, he was completely winning. So at the World Rapid and Blitz, he had He told me he won 7 games out of 7 games.
Wow.
Against GMs, all GMs. So pretty decent. And I thought that okay, very likely he's going to be a Caro Kann. So I checked this line with e5, and I know that he will play c5.
Ah, he
This he
plays
added,
c5, not bishop
yeah,
f5.
not bishop f5, yeah.
And this is
So I
actually very
checked
sharp
this,
line, yeah, because I mean
mm,
you can win a pawn here, and this is like you can continue this way, but I think you decided to go knight f3.
yeah, that's right. Because I think dc5 is the main line, and I think most people sort of know what to do there. And he has scored really well with e6 here. So he plays this e6 stuff and then takes on c5 and plays some f6 eventually. He gets good positions and he feels comfortable.
Mm.
So I thought, okay, let me try something that he hasn't really played before. So I decided to do this setup. And after c takes d4, so Ivan Chiparinov played knight takes d4 against him at Sunway Sieges. Yeah, I should add that he had a couple of fantastic tournaments in Spain.
Mm.
He finished tied for first with in the El Llobregat Open with Tabatabaye. He beat Hans Niemann at the tournament, so he became famous in Singapore at least. Yeah. So I think in this position, yeah, Chiparinov tried really hard but couldn't make headway, and in the end was drawn.
Mm.
So okay, I played Queen takes d4
So you came up
because
with
at
this
least I know
interesting idea.
he has no experience in this position. This was the only reason why I went for this.
And he went knight c6, which is normal. And generally, in such positions, you want to play bishop b5, not move your queen
Mm,
away.
yes, precisely. Yeah. So moving the queen so many times in the opening, okay, I mean, some kids are watching this, probably they are thinking this guy doesn't know chess. What are you doing? Moving your queen all over the place, right? In the center. Yeah, but this line is pretty interesting. And I thought, okay, there's a good chance I can catch him there.
Actually, this
So
has
black,
been played several times, yeah, in over the
yeah,
board chess, and has been played by
yeah,
players like Aronian, and I think Grishchuk plays it a lot.
yeah. So one thing I don't know if anybody noticed, I have my pawn on e5.
Hmm.
So this is a thing that I'm trying to learn a bit more. Even at my age, I'm trying to learn, yeah. So this thing about having this pawn on d5, the strategical pluses of this, like leading to attacks on the king side, I feel is quite interesting. It's a quite interesting way for white to play. So I'm playing French against a French. I play e5 on move 3.
Yeah.
Against a Caro Kann, I play e5 on move 3. And then even in the Scotch, I managed to put a pawn on e5. So pretty interesting, I thought. Yeah.
Kirtika Chess says it stops knight f6, and I think that's an important point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it goes knight e7 to g6 instead. Okay, we'll see that. Or
Right.
knight h6. We'll see that happening later.
Oops.
So I go
So
bishop d3.
you went here, knight to b4. Was this still
Mm-hmm.
preparation?
Yeah, still preparation. And this is the way for black to play. You take the bishop,
Hmm.
and then you hope to get counterplay on the d3 pawn. So I know of this line because of Gajewski's chessable course.
Hmm.
Um, okay, we don't advertise chessable
No,
on
no, no. We
ChessBase.
can, we can for
No,
sure.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, some course by
I
Gajewski.
think I think in general, I realized that so many players are following Chessable courses. It's just the truth, yeah. Like and the quality is amazing. So, like recently, I interviewed Siddhant, who made a GM norm, and I think
No,
it's
phenomenal player. Yeah,
yeah,
phenomenal player. Like I saw his games from Reykjavik, just amazing games.
yeah,
I
and
don't know what else to
he
say.
spoke
Yeah.
about his win against a GM, which is just up on our channel, and he said his opponent followed Anish Giri's course in the Naidorf, and he followed Setu Raman's recommendation, and so it was like these two ideas clashing each other, and well, that's how it was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Zidane, like amazing player. I I, I don't know. I saw his games. I mean, we are digressing a little bit, but I saw his game where he has like 4 queens on the board.
Yes,
Really nice. Yeah,
that one only. Yeah, that's the one which we analyzed with Marcin Ziuba.
yeah, yeah. And also some other games, like all his games are sharp and
Hmm.
creative. I really like those. Yeah. Anyways, so Gajewski recommended Bishop D2. just a little move. It's nothing like super amazing or anything. Okay, he explained that delaying castling has some good points because later on, if you play h4, the pawn is defended because rook is still on h1. This sort of details that nobody cares really, like so tiny, but I thought okay, it'll be a cool move anyway.
So
So I just played it.
did you know this from the course? Like, do you still study all these courses because there's so much material in there
Mhm.
and not enough time, right, to see all of
Well,
it?
I wouldn't I would not analyze every single thing move by move, but I sort of know the recommendations and then I see which ones are the ones that I want to analyze a little bit deeper.
Hmm.
So this is one of those lines that I was sort of intrigued by, and I spent a little bit. I did spend some time checking this in December when I was preparing for another tournament.
Got it.
So I just thought, okay, why don't I just use it since I didn't get to play it then? Why don't I use it here? And also it made sense because the guy like Jing Yao has never played this before, so sort of everything fell together. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
By the way, in our
I
chat, one suggestion, and I think it's a very, very silly one, but interesting is bishop at 7, rook at 7, knight g5, threatening a mate here, and also that 7 rook. But uh, I mean,
yeah, well,
there
I
could
don't
be
think it
many
works.
ways to refute it.
Let's say f6. Yeah. Knight takes h7. I have knight c2 and I take the rook as well.
Yeah, yeah. At the very least, this should be very good. So, bishop d2, he took, pawn takes.
So queen b6. I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, question for chat. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. How do you deal with this attack on b2?
Okay, white to play. What do you do here? How do you continue? Captain Mine says, I don't care about your
Knight c3.
attack, and I'll go knight to
Just give.
c3. Um, but I think if you want to defend it, maybe b3 is one move. Mac Brown also says knight c3. Tirth says knight c3. Jonathan Lee wants to castle. Cliff TO is not so happy with your structure after knight d3. He says you
Yeah.
have isolated.
He's right. Yeah, he's right. The pawn is weak.
Hmm.
Yeah. But we have initiative.
Development. Yes.
Yeah, and development. So that is the the upside of it.
Akash wants to play b4. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, is it good?
Well, it's an
Something.
idea in the French
Hmm.
normally. Yeah. To restrict black pieces.
Prahlad says d4 and also short castle is one suggestion.
Yeah. So those who decided to sack the pawn with knight c3, well done.
Wow.
There's no chance I'm going to defend the b2. Right? There's no chance. Okay. And there's no chance that Tin will ever take the pawn because it's just too much. Like the queen moves so many
You
squares,
just
so
castle.
many moves. I just castle short and look at all my pieces. They are all playing, and there's just one queen in the middle of nowhere. I have
Right.
knight g5 ideas at some point. Rook fc1, rook ab1, knight b5. Too many things happening.
Right.
So this position is just dead lost, I think. Yeah, completely lost. So yeah, I mean, if you go bishop c3, typical move to defend, and then you block your own knight. Your knight wants to go to c3. Yeah. So
Yes.
bishop c3 is typical mistake, actually.
So knight c3
So I play
makes a
knight
lot
c3.
of sense. And he went
Mm-hmm.
bishop d7
Yeah.
and you castled.
Mm-hmm.
And he played the move h5.
Yeah, really interesting choice. Like, and I mean, during during my preparation, in almost all my notes and in all the games that were being played, nobody had this idea to set up the knight on f5 this way.
Mm.
Yeah, this happens more often in the Gurgenidze system in the modern. Yeah, and then I was thinking, okay, what's wrong with this actually? Like, looks half decent, right?
Yeah,
And I
because
couldn't.
I think
Yeah,
he can do like this, maybe even g6, bishop e7, perhaps something on those lines.
and yeah, looks like fantastic position. Yeah,
Mm.
so I mean, I couldn't understand And then I invested quite a bit of time here trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, and I think I found a strong reply. So I will tell you guys what the best move is according to engines, and then you can try to find my move, which is second best.
Okay.
So the best move is rook fc1. It's kind of boring. Just put the rook on the open file.
And then
You can move
maybe
on there.
kind of reroute your knight here, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And also go to g3 maybe. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but this was not what I did. I thought for really long here. I think something like 20 minutes.
Okay. By the way, Kirtika Chess asks, but where will Black Castle now after h5?
Good question. It was a question that Tim couldn't answer during the game.
So here, the what did Kevin do? Rook fc1 is an interesting move, but is the best move. But he
Yeah.
played something else, and Aradhya says he wants to go h4. Akash wants to play knight h4.
I mean,
Mm,
if you have seen this position for the first time and you play and you suggest this move, it just means that you have seen the game. There's no other there is no other reason,
then
because the move
Captain
just
Mine has seen the game.
Captain Mind definitely has seen the game.
And Jonathan Lee says knight e2 looks quite fun, to be honest. Um,
Hmm.
Rook AC1 says Mac Brown, which is quite interesting. Instead of that rook, he puts this one. Um, yeah,
Yeah. But here I decided to be really creative. I went b4.
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, okay. Firstly, Bishop B4 needs to be checked, but I
Yeah.
think it
What
just
happens after yeah. What happens
loses.
after
Yeah,
bishop
let's
b4?
ask guys. What do
Yeah.
you do? How does White win here? Very simply, White to play.
Hmm.
Because now, I mean, this winning this pawn. Okay, everyone, what? Why does everyone want to
No, no. No, they are being overthinking this, yeah.
over
They want to
creative?
play no knight d5. If it works, it works. But bishop d2 is the problem. Knight takes b6, bishop takes f4, and it's not
Oof.
totally winning it. Yeah,
Yeah. And then if you take
but
here, he takes here.
there's a simple solution there.
Yes, Rook B1 is right. Captain Mine, Mac Brown, Evgeny Slutsker, Srini Shruti, Kritika, Prahlad Sen. Well done, guys. Rook A B1 with the idea of A3 if he plays A5, and that's over. So
Hmm.
B4, if
Yeah, so
Queen B4, I think that's an
yeah,
important move.
queen b4 is the important idea. So initially, I wanted to play knight e4,
Attacking the
uh,
Queen.
hoping for some knight d6, some stuff, right? But black has a very strong move, queen a4, keeping the pin. And now I have to change queens, which is kind of an issue, yeah?
Hmm. And the Queen is defended
Yeah.
here, so there's no knight D6.
Yeah, but instead, I planned this move, knight d4
Wow,
instead.
this is such a cool move. It's like you lure the queen, then put your knight so that it cannot exchange, and now you are ready for some discovered attacks.
Yeah, that's right. So I have a few threats. First of all, knight takes d5 is in the air. I have rook a b1, rook fc1. I have all the lines and all the initiatives. So this is not something that is possible to play at all. So the main move to worry about is bishop c5.
Bishop c5 here, right?
Sorry, maybe not here. I think g5 first. Yeah, g5 first.
G5.
Queen e3, bishop c5 now.
Hmm.
And what to do here, man?
Yeah, what to do? White to play, guys. Another tough moment by
Yeah, tough.
Kevin. Aradhya says, I remember this game. Kevin showed me this game. How is it possible?
No, I gave a lecture at the grassroots initiative that I
Ah,
set up. So I did share this game before. So I think he was there, yeah, Aradia? and he was sitting in the front row, so he was paying attention.
Amazing. Akash says knight takes d5.
Knight
Beloglavi
takes.
wants to go rook a b1.
Mhm.
N Mac Brown, of course, with the right answer. Prahlad Sen wants to play queen takes g5, maybe with the idea of queen g7 coming up.
Yeah, but the strongest move is knight cb5. Yeah,
Kirti
and
Prashar
takes a
Sir.
bit of calculation. So queen takes b5. This is the line. Knight takes b5. Bishop e3. Knight d6 check. Very important intermediate move. King e7 and f takes e3.
This is
Yeah, and this
hanging
position
and
is,
this is coming.
yeah, this is devastating.
Wow.
So pretty happy to see this, but I mean, I think but Jing Yao will never even bother to calculate all this. Like he will sense the danger of capturing the pawn. If he's a strong player, he knows you're not supposed to neglect development for pawns. So I knew that he wouldn't even be like thinking about this.
So he went
Yeah, so I think
knight
he went
at
knight
6.
h6, and
You
yeah, here I
gain
went.
even further space with b5.
Yeah, I went b5. Yeah, so now the whole point is just to restrict the light square bishop. Yeah, it feels like I'm wasting so many moves, but it's actually quite important because this space on the queen side turns out to be pretty critical for the whole game.
Right. So knight
Yeah,
f5, and you just gain more space
so
with
just keep
a4.
pushing. Yeah, keep gaining space.
Bishop e7, and now knight e2.
Yeah, and already here now already feels like black is in some like fair bit of danger because knight g3 is coming, and if he captures on g3, I capture with the pawn, and then I have a potential g3 to g4, opening up the king side, and I'll get a nice king side attack. And everything is I think the critical thing is the e5 pawn. With the pawn there, it just helps to support the entire initiative. Yeah, because there's no bishop f6. It just keeps black pieces away.
Right.
Yeah. So here I think
He played castles.
castles. Yeah. Yeah, and here I made a mistake, a really I would say crucial mistake. I played bishop before, but I mean if I've gone knight g3 as I said earlier, I think yeah, white will get a pretty good position.
And the
Followed by bishop.
advantage for white here mainly is that you can put your knight maybe on d4, bishop on d4, and this bishop on d7 is restricted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
And
main.
also this idea of bishop g5
Mm.
to make sure I get a good knight against his bad bishop. And some ideas with queen h4 later on with g4, and if hg4, knight to g5 at some point. So this sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so this was a mistake. I played bishop before. I was really eager to get that bad bishop against knight
Right.
thing. But yeah, I lost all my advantage after this. So after bishop takes b4, queen takes b4, Jing Yao, okay, he he cooperated by making us a mistake here as well. So very crucial tempo. Here he should have played a6 at this moment.
Right.
So it's important for him to gain some counterplay on the queen side. And the point is after knight to g3, hg3, knight takes g3, hg, ab5. I was intending to go a5 and look at that ugly bishop on c6. Yeah, but after queen d8, I no longer have queen h4, and this the move queen h4 was the most important move in the entire game. Without queen h4, I simply cannot proceed with the attack.
Right.
Yeah, and now black is even threatening to play a move like d4 himself, and after knight takes d4, bishop c6, like
Nice.
just then suddenly black is just completely fine.
And also, like,
So
playing something like d4 doesn't make sense, right? Because, I mean, you're just a pawn down. Like
yeah,
rook
he goes rook
c8.
a7. I think I think maybe rook a6 maybe, yeah,
Rook a6.
to play b6 later. I don't know. So yeah, all in all, yeah, fortunate that
He didn't play a6.
yeah, he didn't play a6. He
He
played rook
went.
f8. So that was a crucial tempo because now after knight to g3, knight takes g3. Yeah, hg, a6. Now I just go queen h4, and suddenly the whole position just simply collapses. And from here on, all the moves are natural. And yeah, Jingyao is very good at defending, but even he can't defend this position. Like there are no more pieces left for him to use to defend. Yeah, like
But
it's just
if you go
like
like
useless.
g6, then
Yeah, g4. Yeah,
g4, just open it up
yeah.
and
H takes
take.
g4, knight. No, knight g5.
Just sorry.
Yeah,
Game over.
yeah. It's game over. Yeah.
So
So,
he went takes here, but then you just picked up on h5 with knight g5 coming up. So
mhm.
rook a4, knight to g5,
Yeah,
rook
for sure. Yeah.
ac1.
So here, interesting moment. Okay, he was never going to fall for this, but can the chat try to find a winning idea after rook takes c1, rook takes c1, and rook a2. Now black is threatening mate.
Oh, guys, what should you play here? It is white to play. Kevin, how do you keep yourself so sharp? Like tactically, do you work on something every day or?
Well, not really, not really. I
No?
think it's more like I think for this game I was okay, really motivated and
Hmm.
understood that if I win this game, I might win the tournament.
Hmm.
So I think I'm just a bit more focused, a bit more motivated. I think it could be. Yeah, but
Brilliant.
I didn't really solve puzzles like every day or what some of these kids do. Yeah, they play this puzzle rush and then do all this stuff. But I probably should get back to doing some of these things. Yeah, actually, it's a good reminder.
Right. Well, Aradhya, Srini
Yeah,
Shruti,
everybody
Kritika,
says Queen F7.
Arvind.
Yeah,
Very good, guys. Very sharp. Queen
yeah,
takes
Queen
f7 is
F7.
such a nice move. And if you take here, just rook check, king here, and mate. Nice. This is a great tactic.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
Yeah,
he
of
didn't
course. I
fall
mean,
for
he's not
it.
going to.
He went
He's not
here.
going to fall for this. Yeah. So I gave a check. I take the pawn, and then I take the second pawn. So yeah, Jing Yao, I mean, is well known. Okay, so here, like, I'm not really sure what I should do.
Mm.
Um, I want to bring my rook to the H file, but it's just impossible. Like King H2, Rook H1, okay, it's not working. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's too slow.
It's way too slow, yeah.
Mm.
So I just thought, okay, let's just push my G pawn and whatever happens, happens.
G5. Yeah, actually your queen is so
Yeah.
beautifully placed here.
So I have like some older players who once yeah, he said actually remember what the guy said during the game. He actually said once in my game when I have some pass pawns, I'm not pushing my pawns, I was like moving my pieces around. And he just like asked me to shut up and say, look, you have pass pawn, push it. So I somehow remembered this, like during the game. And like, okay, I'm just gonna push my G pawn. I I just don't care, yeah.
Uh,
And
but here you
yeah,
actually played a very nice move.
yeah, interesting idea actually. So for example, here I can play G6
Mm.
and then he goes Queen D4. And now what to do? Yeah, if white goes G7, what does black do?
Ah, black to play, guys. What should black play here? This is the thing which separates a GM from normal players, that they are always looking for best resources for the opponent and not relaxing till the game ends. Yeah, here, very good. Aradhya, Jonathan Lee, Kirtika, Akash, Srini,
Yeah,
Mac Brown,
perpetual. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
take, king takes, check, and it's just a perpetual check. Yeah, so can't do that. So queen f3 you found.
Yeah, Queen F3, really important move. Like, I'm like, no, 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 there's no perpetual. I'm not going to allow this rook take G2. I'm going to defend my pawn. He can't take G5 because I go Queen F6 and win the rook.
Mm.
And it's such a relief after Queen B4 to take this B2 pawn. Like, cannot explain. So annoying. It's like this bone in the throat. I was so happy to just capture it.
He could have done
Queen,
this sort of intermediate check, but I guess you can
well, then
take
he can't.
and
Uh,
push, I guess, to the queen, yeah.
yeah, yeah. For
G7.
example, yeah, yeah. Honestly, I didn't see Queen G2. I was thinking King G2.
Ah.
Yeah, Queen G2 is stronger.
Yeah,
But King,
just
I
queens,
just
but
thought,
maybe this also wins easily.
and I go Queen F6 check, yeah, and then G6.
Hmm.
I think,
Right. So he went
yeah,
queen b2, you took on g4. I think by this point you were sure that you would
yeah. I
win
was
it.
pretty confident, yeah. And now D4, Queen G7. Finally, there's no black back rank, yeah, no back rank mate. Okay,
Takes.
and then the game is more or less, yeah, no more chances for black. Yeah, always nice to take a pawn with check.
Ah.
Yeah.
And with this, you kind of made yourself a favorite to win the championship. But you had one more game which was very nice, and this was against the young talent uh, from Singapore, Siddharth Jagdish. And how
Hmm.
was that one? Like, was that a very important game?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, yeah, I played like the last two games I played with him were also with white, and I made two draws,
Mm.
and both were very uninspiring draws. I think the first game I ever played with him, I was just completely lost. I just got lucky. And I remember I told him that okay, one of these days when you play me, I'm not gonna go easy on you. I just trash talk him a little bit. I'm like, if you think I'm getting old, you can think again. And I'm just trash talking him.
How is the overall vibe in Singapore National Championship? Is it a relaxed tournament or there's a lot of stress? Because when you come to Indian National Championship, it's like a very serious event, like.
I think it's tense. I think everybody wants to win badly. We are friends, so of course, like I'm close with Siddharth, I'm close with Tin. We are all good friends. But when it comes to the game, everyone is serious, and we all really want to do well, I think. And this is my eighth national championships, so I mean I take it.
How
I
many
really
times
want
have you
to
won it?
eight times. Yeah.
Really? Every time you played, you won it?
No, 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 no. Of
Ah,
course not. Yeah, I lost a few times. Yeah.
okay. So
So I
eight
I won
titles.
I
Wow.
won eight titles, the
Wow.
second most, yeah, in history.
And what is
So I
the prize fund for the first place?
yeah, first place is about 2,500 Sing dollars. So I don't know how much that is in US. Probably about 2,000. Yeah, let
Okay.
me just do this.
And also, is there a
About
qualification
yeah,
spot to some events or?
yeah. So we organize like three qualifiers, and unrated players can play. And you finish whatever top three or top five, you qualify for the finals. So we have some really young players. I know this 7-year-old boy, Ashraf Kaushik,
Mm.
big talent, and he qualified for the finals.
Wow.
So really funny guy, like because he's so tiny, yeah. He needs to use a cushion because he couldn't see the board, like because he's so tiny. And then there was one game, he was seated next to our first grandmaster, Wong Ming Kong. And Wong Ming Kong is huge. Like if you think, I don't know,
No, no,
I,
I've
I don't know
seen
how.
him. I've met him. Yes.
Yeah, he's huge, right? So I see the two of them sitting next to each other. It's just looks like whatever um the giant and whatever, yeah.
Hmm.
And then so I think it's nice that we get to give these chances for these young players to play.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, and by the way, Siddharth is amazing, and also his father is a very good friend, and
Mm-hmm.
he's one of the main reasons why we started our foundation at ChessBase India, because he was the first person to contribute to that
Ah,
foundation,
wow, nice.
and now it's like so many people contribute regularly, but he was the first one, so very special person, Jagdish. But Siddharth
Yeah.
has been moving up and now he's become an IM, yes?
Yeah. He's our second youngest IM in our history. Yeah, so I always tell him that he should try to grow his rating and become a GM, and then I can eventually play bot 4 at the Olympiad. So I'm just saying, can you please try to, try to become a GM soon? Okay, the boy is yeah, very nice, polite young boy and very motivated. Yeah. So I hope he gets good results soon. So yeah, I mean he plays classical Sicilian in this game. I think in the tournament he played this twice in the earlier rounds, and he won both in nice style. So I sort of expected this. Yeah. And like first of all, I don't normally play the open Sicilian because I'm an old guy. So I go for this bishop b5 check stuff. Boring crap. Um
You mean
got to
after
watch my
these
language.
things?
Yeah. Some young kids are here, I got to watch my language. So bishop b5 check. And then I decided, okay, I mean if I want to win the tournament, I don't play bishop b5 check.
Right.
So I will play
The open Sicilian.
the open Sicilian, yeah. I man up and do the real thing. And okay, and here, okay, bishop g5 is my main line. And again, I decided to so for Siddharth, okay, so for Jingyao, I understood that I have to play some lines that are completely I have to play something that's completely theoretical, something that he may not be familiar with. With Siddharth, my strategy was to play something simple. Yeah, which is if I play something theoretical, he might feel very comfortable, and that's not what I wanted. So completely opposite approach. So I decided to go for this bishop c4, which hardly anybody plays these days. Let's just face it. Nobody plays this stuff. Because bishop g5 is considered to be the most critical
Right.
and the
Right.
strongest.
But is this
But I
like
know
sort
that.
of, I mean, not
Go ahead.
refuted, but is it like easy equality for black?
It's not. I don't think so. Like, at least I think that somebody who's inexperienced in this line might not feel comfortable about it. But if I go bishop g5, he's going to blitz out the next 10 moves, and I don't really want that.
Yeah, and this
So
was Fisher's weapon, yeah. By the way,
yeah,
Srinath
Fisher
in the
sold
chat.
it.
Hello, Srinath. It's good to know.
Yep.
He says young kid watching here. Yeah, don't spoil Srinath.
Srinath has a kid? No, not yet. Yeah. At least
Not
not
sure.
any he knows of.
Not
He knows
sure.
about. I think he's regretting joining the chat. Yeah, Srinath. Yeah. Bishop g5 is much more scary than bishop c4. Yeah, it's true. Bishop c4 is not supposed to be that difficult. But that was my point. Against Siddharth, I'm going to play the long game. And my point is to get something simple, play out the game, and hope that because in the previous rounds there were some games where his play became a little bit shaky. Towards the later stage of the game. With Tin, that's not the plan. With Tin, you have to go after his throat.
Right.
So you see, like completely different approach.
Absolutely. And so here after queen b6, you took here.
Yeah, I went knight takes c6. Yeah. So see, very simple. The aggressive way is to play knight b3. And then eventually to go bishop e3 and f4 and this sort of thing. But okay, I decided no, this game I'm going to play something easy.
Take castles.
Yeah, I went castle. And now he goes g6. So the point is, what is White's idea? I am trying to play e5 to break up his pawn structure. So it's not a kingside attack. It is a idea to get a better pawn structure and then try to outplay him in the late middle game stage. So for example, instead of g6, let's say he plays e6, right? We go queen e2. And some problems, yeah, like he has to solve this idea of playing e5.
Yeah.
But I think at the time I know that okay, he's well prepared, he works hard. He was always going to play g6, which is the main move. I played queen e1. This is still theory. I mean, don't ask me why it's not queen e2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
There must be some interesting reason.
There must be some reason. Maybe bishop g4. I don't know. Yeah, but there must be some kind of There must be a point behind this. Or knight g4, yeah. Knight g4 maybe. Yeah.
Queen e1. Okay.
So queen e1, the idea to go e5.
Hmm.
And here he goes knight d7.
He
Oh,
first
sorry,
goes
queen
queen
c7. Yeah,
c7. Bishop f4. You still want to play e5. He
that's
goes
right.
knight d7.
Knight d7. Now I go rook a d1. Bishop g7. Queen to d2. Or b3 first, yeah. Oh, queen
Bishop
d2,
d2.
castles, and b3. So guess what? This position was in
Yeah.
my notes.
Wow.
And in Miguel Santos' chessbook course.
Really?
Yeah.
And what should be White's plan here? Like now you're not getting in e5. Do you want to go bishop h6 and trade the bishops or?
Yeah. So I think the main point is just to get a position where, even though it doesn't seem obvious what White's plan is, it's also not clear what Black is supposed to do. So for example, I have a couple of useful moves. I can play h3 and rook fe1. For example, probably rook fe1 here makes sense
Hmm.
if it's my turn, yeah. And then what is Black doing exactly? Because the knight doesn't belong to b6, it doesn't really. I mean, it goes to c5, and then it's kind of weird on c5. Actually, this was what he did. He played knight c5, which
Yeah.
was I think a mistake. The best move, according to my analysis, is queen a5, and then I go knight to d5.
Because if queen d2, there's knight
Queen,
e7.
yeah,
So
typical
queen d8.
idea, right?
Yeah.
Black goes queen d8, and now knight e3. And I felt like, okay, this is a game I can maneuver left and right, and maybe I play bishop h3, bishop g3, maybe look at playing f4,
Hmm.
queen f2, that sort of thing. So, or I could just play rook fe1 and just play calmly. So there are some ideas here. I think my notes ended after knight c5, f3.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I just think, okay, white is maybe a bit better,
Right.
not much, but okay, I can play this position and hope to use my experience against Siddharth.
Hmm. Very
Yeah,
interesting prep. Yeah, like you prepared something where it's not like a better position or anything, but just something where you can keep playing.
yeah, and something I feel is uncomfortable for him because I think he was going for these sharp positions with the rouser,
Hmm.
and I just don't allow him to do this. So this was my point. But if I do this against, for example, against Tin, he'll be very happy because he does not like these sharp positions. He likes to play in the positional way.
Correct.
So this was yeah,
Just
precisely. Somebody said on chat, very boring for a tactical player. Precisely.
and bishop
Yeah.
h6. Good move. Uh, and after
Hmm.
take.
Yeah. So bishop h6 is total. I don't know what to say. Just illogical. Yeah. Like why would you help me to bring my queen to h6?
Hmm.
And I think it's based on the tactical oversight because after bishop e6, he overlooked my next move.
So the question here is, what should white play here? Very interesting move. I mean, maybe this move, did it come to you like at first instance or uh,
Quite quickly, yeah, quite quickly. So I think um yeah, the immediate thought is to play bishop takes e6. Yeah,
yeah,
okay, we never allow bishop takes c4 because structure is important, right?
right.
Yeah. And then you think about these positions after fe, doubled pawns, but f file is open, and then his control over the center is reinforced.
Hmm.
So I'm not so sure. And then retreating with bishop e2 just doesn't seem right, so I didn't bother
So
too much
people
with
are
that.
saying f4, take here and maybe just take back and then try for an attack with f5. But I think
Yeah, but
it's
this is, if you have been listening, yeah, like my approach to this game, yeah, we are not going for this.
and so I guess here there are many ways, but f5 could be one, f6 could be one, so the attack won't go
Yeah,
through. So the move
and
that
also
you played.
remember that I'm trying to keep things calm. I'm
Hmm.
not going for like crazy stuff. Yeah, so destroying my pawn structure is not a good idea. Not a
Hmm.
good idea. Yeah. So anybody suggested?
Yeah,
Yeah, Aradhya, you
Aradhya.
saw the game. Yeah. No, he saw the game. So yeah, you're not fooling me, huh? Anyone, you saw the game.
No, but this is f4. Everyone wants to do f4, rook f3, rook h3, but it's not so easy. Because
It's not
firstly
so
you can
easy. Yeah.
oops, sorry, take, and now f5. And even if you
Oh,
try to get here, there's always rook f7 to defend it. So it's not
yeah,
so simple.
precisely. Yeah. And also F6, by the way, if you
Yeah,
really want to be solid.
f6, correct.
Yeah.
So the move you played, and I think no one could find it, is rook d4, which is an amazing move.
Yeah, rook d4, really nice move. So the idea is to play e5 and checkmate, rook
Wow.
h4.
Wow.
So once you see the move, you know that it has to be played.
Yeah, and I guess he took, and he can go f6 now, right?
Yeah.
f6, or he went
Mhm.
f5.
Yeah. I mean, this is okay. He just wants to create some counterplay. Yeah,
Hmm.
forces me to, but he forces me to make a good decision with e5 anyways. So
Yes. If he goes f6, maybe you try for h4, h5. I guess
now
h4,
here
h5
there is
is
this idea of playing b4
p4.
and knight d5. I wasn't so sure like
Hmm.
during the game. Queen d7,
And
rook
now
takes c6,
takes.
and now rook c8. So during the game, I wasn't so sure. Like,
Hmm.
okay, I will go b5, I think. And then what's happening next for him and what's happening next for me as well. Yeah,
Right.
like we are a little bit stuck. For example, rook f7. Um, okay, I feel like white should be better, or if
Yeah.
not winning,
Yeah.
but I wasn't so sure. I wasn't so sure, honestly.
So anyway, he went to f5, and you pushed forward with e5. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He can't take, his knight on c5 would hang, so a5 played.
Yeah, stopping this b4 idea once and for all.
Yeah. Rook e1.
Yeah, just useful move anyways. I'm going to one day use the e file if I take on d6.
Queen
Yeah, but here I
d7.
pretty much get everything I want.
And now you
Yeah,
get
and now
h4. Very nice.
h4. Yeah.
Beautiful. rd4 is theory. No, I don't think that was prep, right? Rook d4.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Prep ended way long ago.
We never sure now with the level of prep you showed. It could go like even deeper. So he went knight e6 back, and you just hacked
Yeah.
it.
So this is interesting moment because I knew I was going to walk into if I play h5 because after g5
Mm-hmm.
and the main idea is that e takes d6 is a
Rook,
complete disaster because rook f6 and my queen is
queen
trapped.
is trapped. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be a pretty bad way to go down. So when I play h5, I already had this idea in mind. So maybe someone can try to find.
White to play, guys. What do you do here? Not easy
Okay, okay.
position.
Crazy tactical play is coming. Yeah.
Question for Kevin. Do you consider yourself a tactical player, positional player, or universal
Oh,
player?
look, my true self is hacker. I'm a some some of my
What's your
friends call
true
me a
self?
hacker.
Ha-
A hacker. I'm a hacker. Like
hacker.
I
Ah,
just
you like to
yeah,
attack.
I like to attack.
Hmm.
I can't play positional chess in the past, but as I grow older, I understood that I cannot play this type of chess anymore so often. Once in a while, yes, but if I just keep playing like this all the time, it's too much for me.
Hmm.
So it's sign of old age.
So yeah, by the way, Aradhya found this while meanwhile Mac Brown found it, but everyone else, guys, whoever said e takes d6,
Mm,
rook f6 is just lost. So yeah,
yeah.
critical.
ED6, rook f6, and I can go home. So rook takes c6. I blitzed this out immediately, and I was okay, pretty pleased. I mean, I calculated quite long before I play h5,
So
so I
take,
was
right?
already pretty confident about this position. Queen takes. So also there's an interesting line. If rook f7,
Mhm.
knight d5, yeah.
Threatening 97.
Yeah. So rook a7, and then here takes
And now,
queen d6,
guys, what should white
and now
play?
white to play. Yes.
Amazing. There are so many nice. This is like that the 97 check we saw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Exactly. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Okay, everybody saw that. Knight
Mac
f6.
Brown, Akash, Prahlad, Aradhya, well done.
So well done. Knight f6.
Srini
And the
Shruti.
point is,
Yeah.
we force the king to g7 and we go knight e8 and fork the queen. Yeah.
Oof.
So if king f8, yeah. If king f8, I have queen c8 check. And now knight e8 is coming. So pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
So okay, he played king h8, which was stronger. Now knight d5. So again, it's one of those sacrifices that okay, it doesn't result in immediate mates, but there's just no move for black. It's just so difficult to even find something to do. And here he played he played rook a d8, and a very clever move, by the way, because the idea is after knight takes e7, black goes queen d7, and I'm even forced to change queens, and I'm the one who has to find the defense. You know, I'm the one who has to try to defend this position.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the
So
reason why you played this very cool and calm move c4,
yeah,
just cementing
really
your
difficult.
knight.
Yeah. Yeah, and it only works because of one fine tactical point. Because after okay, maybe you can show from this position, yeah, the most okay, like the hardest puzzle for today, and maybe the last one.
Okay.
So what happens after queen d7? And
What should white
because the
play?
idea queen to h6, we don't make the move, let them calculate, yeah. Queen queen to h6, e6, and queen to g7 traps my queen, something like that.
And I mean, you
Or
have to
e6 and then
exchange the queens, right?
yeah, something like that. Okay, that's queen takes e6, so maybe de first or something. Yeah.
Okay, so queen h6. Let's ask queen h6, e6. What should white play there? It's because if knight f6, there's queen g7, I guess. So or even d should work. No, sorry, queen g7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Mac Brown, you're too strong. Aradhya, well done. Queen h6, e6, take.
Yeah. And in fact, the black resigned here.
Wow. Because you
Yeah.
can't take here, there is rook e7.
Mm-hmm. And the
Brilliant.
nice point is queen takes e7, d takes e7, and I fork the rook
Yeah.
here. Pretty convenient.
Very nice. Very nice.
And if queen takes d6, yeah, it's mate. No, but the funny thing about this is, instead of e6, uh, yeah, black is not lost yet. That was really bizarre because I was just so, I was so pleased with the whole game, and I just thought, okay, I played almost a brilliant game, right? Proud at myself. And then I went back, analyzes it, and black has an amazing resource. And yeah, black could play rook g8.
Rook to
Okay,
g8. Okay.
it looks crazy.
You want
E
to
takes
take,
d6.
right? ed6 and rook e7 coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So queen to d6, more or less forced. Rook e6,
Okay, now this is the move.
and
Yeah, toughest move
yeah,
of tonight.
under any circumstances, black resigns.
Because
Right? Like,
the moment the queen moves, you take rook e7 and just over. Yeah.
yeah, it's just over. You don't even get to give a check. Okay, maybe queen a3, rook e7, queen c1, checking h2,
Right.
and then resign. Yeah. So this is
What is
the
the
main
move
thing.
here for black after rook e6? Because the threat is that the queens are now not traded. The queen has to move. Next move, I'm taking on e7. Perpetual. Is there a perpetual? I don't think there's a perpetual. Even if you, I mean, there's no way. Anish Vivek Wow, Anish Vivek, how did you find it? Mac Brown, well done. No, this is crazy.
No, no, who are all these? I don't know, your members, yeah? They should be coming onto the stream. I mean,
Wow, this is beautiful. Anish, well done. Rook, maybe
yeah,
Anish.
well done.
Also, Saumik Banerjee, fantastic.
Yeah, Mac Brown as usual, yeah, finding all the moves.
But tell me, is it? I mean, even if I played something like A4, you can't take,
Um,
right? It still traps the queen.
yeah, so yeah, good point. So what is the probably I have knight takes e7.
No, I mean, what does Rook G7 prevent? Ah, it stops knight E7.
Maybe it stops knight e7.
Because
Does it?
now if c5 there is queen
No,
takes, that's the
queen
point.
d5,
Maybe
yeah.
queen, maybe c5 is the point, because if I go a4 c5 queen d5 rook e7 wins.
Also wins, yeah.
Ah,
Control d6, nice, yeah.
so
Nice.
wow, so that was the very nice, I think, final point of rook g7 here. Rook g8 ed6 queen d6 rook e6 rook g7, and
Yeah. I mean, the engines, okay, still find a way to get the advantage, but it's no longer the same, you know.
hmm,
Like if somebody plays this against me, I'll just go crazy. Like I just thought, okay, I made all the correct moves, and then you get this tactic, and I got to try to win the game again. Where and how do I do it? So I mean, the engine has some crazy line. I cannot quite remember. I think knight takes
knight is,
e7.
yeah.
Yeah, queen d1 check, king h2, and then queen to d2, something like that. Something like that. Something weird. And then
Mm.
queen d2, I think, or queen d4, yeah.
24, yeah, something
And
like
knight
that.
f5,
Queen
queen
f4.
f4, knight g3. I mean, good luck. I mean, I'm not going to find all this stuff.
Well, but okay, in the game, nothing of that sort
Yeah,
happened. Siddharth played
in the
e6
game,
and ed6 and he
nice.
resigned.
Yeah, very cooperative. I mean, and we both get to go home.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Well,
so these are my again another pawn on e5. Like interesting. Somehow I have another pawn on e5.
yeah, even in this game, you had your
Yeah.
pawn on e5, and I think that's a very interesting theme that you have spoken about. But Kevin, this was just tremendous. Your games, your approach to preparation, the way in which you sort of went through this tournament is so interesting, because with every different player, you not only had different lines, but you had a different vibe to the way you played.
That's
Uh,
that's correct. Yeah.
it's not easy
I think
to do that. You need to be in
well, I
very
think
good shape.
well, and also I need to know these players really, really
Yes.
well. So I think that was that I used that to my advantage.
Mm.
And I could because I'm just older, you know, I'm older, I have more experience, I know how to use these things to my
Right.
advantage.
Right.
And maybe one of these days they will find my weakness and they will target my weaknesses and I will get into. I'm pretty sure they are not happy about this result.
Right.
Like these young ones, I mean, they cannot allow this dinosaur to win the tournament, right? And I was bantering them. Like, really? Yeah, my age is like all of you guys combined, and you let me win. Seriously? I mean, I'll enjoy it when it lasts.
Well, but you managed to win this again for the eighth time. And Kevin, apart from this, what else is happening with you? How is the Singapore chess going? I think it's been what now, over 6 months since you have
Yeah, about 4 months.
four
So
months.
well, organized lots of things. I mean, the SG Chess Festival is coming, so of course all the Indian players are welcome to come.
Yeah, I will definitely write an article on it so that more
Yeah,
people know about it, which will be very interesting.
yeah.
Uh,
There's going to be a Blitz tournament, a Rapid, a team tournament, the Classic. So the Classic has good prizes. Um, First prize is about 4,000 Singapore dollars. It's pretty
wow,
good.
nice.
And then we have a attractive prize fund for the women players as well and veterans. We have category prizes. And then there's going to be some interesting side events.
Hmm.
Um, and this is just for you, Saga. You get the first hand news, and
Wow.
which I haven't announced yet.
Mm-hmm.
But Grandmaster Timur Gariev will be here, and he will be doing a blindfold simultaneous exhibition as well.
With how many people?
Well, I need to discuss this with him because I plan to do this on the rest day, and I don't want him to be so tired and then he cannot play
Ah,
the next day. So
I thought you would go for the world record with 50 boards. No?
I mean, if he's ready for that,
Well,
then I'll
I
invite
mean,
him just
Timur, yeah, like he can do anything, so you never know.
yeah, if he's ready for that. Because I don't know what he's doing these days. I know he's in Uganda. Like he's always traveling to different places, right?
Yeah.
And he probably needs to train and prepare for these things. So if he's up for it, I mean, I will host this
You
world
should
records.
tell him right now. June is still 2 months away, and he can work on
Yeah.
it.
And then he doesn't have to play the tournament. He just focus on this thing. Yeah.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
it's I think doing a 50 board thing would be an amazing. He's done 48, I think.
Yes, 48. That's the current world record.
Yeah,
Right. Owned
amazing.
owned by him. Yeah.
Well,
So this is
I would be very keen that to come to Singapore, and I think there are many other things that are happening. I went to the website of the Singapore Chess Federation, and there were all these
mhm.
different courses that were happening, and players could enroll in it. So
Yeah. Do you
that's
like our recent change of name to I don't know if you've seen
what is it?
on 1st of April we changed our federation's name. I
To
don't
the
know.
boxing federation or something,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
the
yeah,
wrestling
yeah.
fed.
Singapore Chess Boxing Association. Yeah. Right around the time when ChessBase India is closing. So I
Someone
mean,
said.
I thought it was so obvious,
Mm.
but then there were some people asking, okay, when is the fight happening? We want to come and watch and all these things. Like, where's the thing happening? Pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, chess boxing is getting a bit serious and popular, so maybe it is not a bad idea to do something there.
Well, I think in truth, I mean, honestly, I would. It was one of my ideas actually.
Mm.
Like when I became a GM, I just thought, okay, maybe I should now do this chess boxing thing. And then there was the like whatever coronavirus. So I shelved all these plans and I started doing more chess for the federation.
Mm.
So now I got to take this thing. I don't know. I need to wait for another time to do this, yeah. But I did want to do chess boxing, so it wasn't a complete joke.
Yeah,
I told this to several friends.
and I think if you look at what happened in the US recently with all these players, Aman
Yeah,
Hambleton, Lawrence Trent, Andrea
yeah,
Botes, Dina, all
yeah.
of them doing. I
Botes,
think
yeah.
that it was very popular what
Mm-hmm,
happened there. So maybe someday, I think, Kevin, there is a good chance there. Something might happen. I have some
mm-hmm.
ideas I can share with you later. And who
Yeah,
knows, you might
sounds good.
be into chess boxing in the days to come. But as always, Kevin, it was a pleasure talking to you. You are very inspiring. I told you this
Thank you,
even
thank you.
last time when we spoke, that it's unbelievable that you took a bold decision to give up your fixed job to start working for the Singapore chess, and now you're doing so many activities yet winning the national championship. I think there's no limits to what you can achieve.
No, thanks, thanks. I mean, I try hard. I'm not getting any younger, yeah, so get to do as much as I can when I'm still breathing.
Yeah, but it's amazing, and I hope to see you soon, and thank you so much for sharing this knowledge with us.
No, thanks so much. Always a pleasure to be here. Yeah,
Thank you, Kevin.
thanks, Saga.
Bye
Good night,
everyone in the
everyone.
chat. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much for joining in, and please do write in the comments what you learned from this if you did, and see you all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.